Yellow-bellied sapsuckers are barred black and white with a light yellow breast, a long white wing stripe, a white rump, white eye stripes, and a red forehead. The male also has a red throat. Sapsuckers are of the woodpecker family, but they're quite different than most woodpeckers. They have brush-like tongues for extracting sap, unlike most woodpeckers, which have barbed tongues for extracting wood-boring insects. Sapsuckers make horizontal rows of shallow holes in tree bark in young deciduous trees, especially birch and maple. Then they lap up the sap and insects with the brush-tipped tongue. They make two kinds of holes, round ones that go deep into the tree and rectangular ones that are shallow. New holes are usually in a line above or below old ones. First, they drill the round holes to get into the inner bark of the trunk, similar to people to get the sap moving up the tree in early spring. Then later, after the leaves have grown, they make shallow rectangular holes in the trunk to get the sap as it flows down from the leaves. This is a very sweet sap, which has as much as 10% sugar content. These holes need to be drilled regularly to keep the sap flowing. The trees they use are generally sick or wounded and consist mostly of paper birch, yellow birch, sugar maple, red maple, and hickory, which have high sugar content. They also eat insects, which include mostly ants and spiders, which they get from beneath the bark. They will also perch and launch after them like flycatchers. They also eat some fruit from orchards. Hummingbirds like their sap wells and will feed on them also. In fact, the hummingbirds in the northeastern United States arrive back from the south at around the same time as the sapsuckers. Bats and porcupines will also lick sap from these holes. The yellow-bellied sapsucker is the only woodpecker in the northeast that's migratory, and they will go as far south as Panama. Another way they differ from most woodpeckers is they don't use dead trees for feeding. They use live trees to tap for sap, although they nest in dead trees. Males tap irregularly to attract females. Males and females will chase each other around tree trunks and branches before mating. They also have a courting ritual that involves facing each other with bills and tails raised, throat feathers fluffed out, and crest feathers raised while swinging their heads from side to side. But that's also a territorial display. The pair stays together through the nesting season and often for many seasons. The male chooses a nest tree which includes aspen, birch, maple, beech, and elm. They're generally live trees that have some decay that makes it easier to excavate. These are often reused. They then excavate for 2 to 3 weeks to make a nest cavity, with the male doing most of the work. The female lays 4 to 6 white eggs in the cavity using the wood chips left over as a lining. The hole for the nest is about 1.5 inches in diameter, and the cavity can be 10 inches deep. The eggs are incubated for 10 to 13 days, and they are nestlings for 25 to 30 days.